Oh, those bicycles with music are driving me absolutely crazy. Portuguese tombstones. Look at that pirate ship. No one wants to listen to that crap at 11 a.m., right? Good morning. It is 10:30 on a Saturday morning, and after a pretty bad breakfast, it doesn't matter because we are in the center of Malacca right now. So we're gonna have a little look around. I'm just walking from the hotel to the main city center. We're gonna see some Dutch heritage, I guess, and talk a bit about the city, see the river, and see what else we can find in this video. So without further ado, let's get going. So only a stone's throw away from that bad hotel. Well, the atmosphere has changed because look where we are. We're beside the Malacca River, which leads all the way to sort of the outlet and then off into the distant lands by boat to the rest of the world. But yeah, the river takes over the center of the town or city. I suppose it feels more like a large town, to be honest. And yeah, so here's a little map of the area. You can sort of get your bearings a little bit. So this is where all the boats come in and go. You can get river cruises all the way along the river. There's us. I think our crappy hotel is somewhere around here. And yeah, there's the bigger sort of area of Malacca. Look at that. Wow. So there's lots to see and do. Look how clean and beautiful it is. Look at that. It's almost like a Belgian port city, or like Bruges or something like that. It has that sort of vibe or feeling. So we're going to walk along the river to somewhere more central and see some of the old Dutch colonial buildings and go from there. Yeah, so look beside this river here, you know, people eating, drinking, having breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even alcoholic drinks in the evening. It looks awesome, doesn't it? So Malacca, how did it get its name? Where did it come from? Well, 600 years ago, a fleeing Sumatran prince set up in a modest fishing village of now what is modern-day Malacca, and legend has it he sheltered under what was called a Malacca tree, or you might know it as an Indian gooseberry tree, and we might see one on this very trip. Not long later, the Portuguese arrived in the early 1500s. And then the Dutch defeated the Portuguese and, well, left a lot of influence behind, which we're going to see momentarily. So right now we're just walking along the river. They're getting all their Instagram shots because it's 2026. Already we can see some fascinating buildings, look. And what you'll see in Malacca is such a rich fusion of different architectures, religions, and styles. So if you go to the local mosque, you'll see almost like a concrete pagoda outside with a British chandelier, some Dutch architecture. It's very strange, but also quite interesting as well. Kind of like if you go to Macau, you see influence from the Portuguese, but also Asia. So it's some interesting fusions here. And a lot of interesting artwork as well. Look at that. So this is a World Heritage City. World Heritage City. Almost like Machu Picchu, but the whole city is designated. But not very Machu Picchu-like. So yeah, there's a lot of museums here, a lot of things to do, but it's a very chill city, you know. We did walk out at night time yesterday, and there were some people partying, but it's more of a chilled out town. So if you've been to the north of Belgium, Netherlands, somewhere like that, it has a very similar vibe. So if you've ever seen a picture of Malacca on the internet, then this is a photo you probably saw, which is Dutch Square or Red Square. Either one of them works. You can rent bicycles, they'll drive you around blasting music as you ride. We've got a really old church here, and to complete that we have a Dutch windmill with Dutch cows with horns to complete the rural image of perhaps somewhere in the Netherlands. So when we went to Jakarta, we saw the same thing. We saw like a lot of Dutch heritage. You can rent Dutch bicycles and ride them around the main square. You know, Dutch colonization, even though no one really speaks Dutch here, I guess learning Dutch wasn't mandatory. You can certainly see a lot of influence left over even until today, and throughout Britain's occupation of Malaysia as well. So it's quite interesting. And here we can see, look, the main square here. We've got the church just over here. And yeah, some lovely buildings. Oh yeah, the blasting music, that's got a sec. I find it quite fascinating being in these sort of like European bubbles in Asia, because I speak with a lot of locals and they think Europe is like this, and sadly I'd feel embarrassed to bring them into Europe in 2026 with the influx of immigration, drug use and some hellholes that we used to call beautiful cities. I feel absolutely embarrassed, but being in places like this that sort of capture an impression of Europe seem a lot more safer, a lot more nicer, and a lot more, you know, a better place to be, unfortunately. But I can say that as a European, and I will say that. This is the church here. So the church, the construction began on the 100th anniversary that the Dutch kicked out the Portuguese. So it's more like a celebration. You know, we conquered the stupid Portuguese, and now we're going to build this church right here. It's the oldest church in the region, actually. It's a UNESCO protected site, and here it sits today. We've got some bicycles here, look. I wonder what the rates are. But I think the idea is they take you around the city, they'll point at things. And we saw something very similar in Manila as well, in the Spanish Quarter. He's got a little fan in there. But yeah, this is like pretty much their business. It's probably like a second home. He's got an amplifier. They've got some crazy speakers in the back. It's got all the little volume knobs and everything for the bass and the treble. Yeah, I suppose you'll see something in London or any other city like that. But yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? All right, so well, that is Dutch Square or Red Square. Definitely a spot you need to check out in Malacca. We're going to see what else we can find as well. Okay, I think things are looking up. I've just found $1 Singapore, and I'm going to be there in 2 weeks, so I'm going to spend it there. I think today is looking up. So it's quite interesting. When we're in Kuala Lumpur, we saw what looked like the flag of Ecuador, Colombia or Venezuela, and now we're in Malacca and I see another Latin America flag, the Chilean flag. What's going on? Well, it's just very similar. Same with the other flag. This is the flag of the state of Malacca. Kind of looks like the flag of Chile, right? And it has the Islamic sort of crescent moon and star on there. And I always wondered something, right, which is like, how is it that Islam is the most predominant religion in Malaysia? It's a bit of a mystery. Well, it's due to maritime peaceful trading way back when. We could date that back hundreds of years. So they would set up ports of little Islamic bubbles for when traders come and go. And throughout time, everything sort of spread. So when I was talking about that Sumatran prince that came over fleeing, at some point he or his ancestors, his successors, one day converted to Islam. And yeah, it's quite interesting because I find Islam is a very powerful religion in the fact that it's quite hard to escape from for many reasons. I'm not even going to talk about it in this video. But yeah, it's quite a strongly rooted religion. So even today, as it's not really a native religion, it comes out of Arabia, Persia, all those places that kind of don't really exist anymore, just given new names. But it's quite interesting when you look at the history of how this all comes together. It's quite surprising. All right, where are we? Let's find something else to see. No. Yeah, I didn't even notice. The 7-Eleven is no backpacks, but when you're a tourist, no one seems to care. Some call it white privilege. I call it a mistake. Yeah, so I found a little plaque over here, and this is something you'll find very interesting about harbour cities here, because they have such a diverse range of traders. Look, Arabia, Persia, we talked about them, India, China, Philippines, Thailand, 84 languages and 2,000 ships docked at the ancient port of Malacca. That is such a multicultural range of people from different backgrounds. So with all that influence, all that presence, it's quite interesting to see which countries took power, how colonization worked, how religion worked, and also language as well. It's a testament to a lot of things, which is quite complicated to explain. So stay tuned, we'll probably be eating some food at some point, but before we do that, look at this old little mini city wall, look, for defensive purposes, which has been destroyed, rebuilt during different occupations of different peoples, I guess. I guess if you want to learn about more about it, you can pause the video. I think it tells you about the river and stuff. But yeah, absolutely beautiful city. Look how clean it is. Let's forget history for a moment. Look how clean and welcoming it is. Look, here's one of these like city cruises you can get, a little boat here. It's alright, isn't it? So we've got the local Malacca flag and the flag of Malaysia on the back there. Wow. Yeah, absolutely beautiful city. I don't rate the hotels at all, at least the one we're in. It's awful, but as far as the city goes, very clean, very nice. Ah, there we go. You can sort of get the idea. So many umbrellas. Yeah, here's remnants of an old little complex, or remnants of the city wall. Looks something a bit more than what we see now. And yeah, here's pretty much what you'd call Malacca city centre, or at least a historic district. Oh. Let's see if we can see over the wall. Yeah, look at the size of these cannons here. I mean, you're going to be shooting your own buildings, but I think the reality is this is the wall, that's the river, and over there is perhaps the attacking enemy. I'm sure a lot of those buildings weren't here then. But yeah, wow, pretty big cannon, right? Well, I was just about to film a wedding and oh boy. Finally stopped his music. Yeah, check it out, look. Little local wedding, look. Look at this, there's the bridesmaids. The dudes' outfits are awesome. Look, they got little suspenders on, dressing a baby and putting it on a car. I'm not sure why. But yeah, look at it. Check this out, look. Look at the church. Pretty cool, isn't it? Wow. So just like any harbour or shipping town, you're going to see a lot of cranes or a lot of historical artifacts to do with lifting cargo. But here we can see what looks like almost the old school Pentagon, right? This is what the city wall might have looked like back then. We can see that river, so this is where we were before, just sort of looking off through the river. And yeah, everything inside is leave us alone sort of thing. We're going to protect this with our lives. So I'm just gonna, I wonder if that was an ancient Malacca tree. What do you think? Do you think that grew gooseberries? Probably not. I think gooseberries grow on bushes, right, with thorns and stuff. We're gonna hop on this bridge. This seems like one of the most touristic spots in the city. So we're gonna hop up there now, and yeah, we've got Zeus coffee. Well, Zeus. Maybe you can gain the E if you have a cup of it. So for any locals watching this video, what do you think about these bicycles playing loud chart music? Because as I'm walking by, I like hear the birds, the atmosphere, the river. It's very nice. And then I'll just hear Pitbull playing really loudly for about 30 seconds, then it stops. For me, I feel like it ruins the atmosphere, but I appreciate everyone's a bit different. But at 10:30 in the morning, it just seems a bit strange. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it absolutely ruins it for me. Like, no one wants to listen to that crap at 11 a.m., right? It's just, I don't get it, man. It's just so bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? So here's the bridge. Look, historical Malacca. Look, let's have a little look here. Pretty cool, right? And over here there's a pretty good picture too. So this looks really cool at night time. I'll show you a shot in a second. And that's when all of these restaurants light up and you go into party and drinking mode, I guess. I'm not sure who this monster guy is. I've seen him in a lot of places. Wow. So over from the bridge where we were just momentarily a few seconds ago, this is one of the most popular walks or places you can visit in Malacca for tourists if you love your street food, souvenirs, and all stuff like that. It's basically like maybe 400 to 800 meters of one Chinatown street that kind of branches off a little bit, and you can buy all different types of street food. A lot of Chinese food, but some local stuff as well. And it is called Jonker. You tell me. I'm not sure how they do the J's here. We'd say Jonker. In Latam, they'd say honker. Honker sounds pretty funny though, doesn't it? So in the daytime, it's just a normal street. You can see a car here chilling, probably doing a delivery. And behind the car, well, just looks like any other street. But at nighttime, maybe 6 p.m., all of this is going to change. There's going to be a security guard arriving at each end. He's going to close it off, and this will be full of people and stalls and food and things to do. But this is what it looks like in the daytime, right? Just like any other street. So that was a cool preview of the Malacca Historic City Centre. What did you think? We're sort of almost back where we started. We've done a loop around. You can see some remnants here of the city walls here. Those bicycles with music are driving me absolutely crazy. It's just sun-damaged stuff on wheels with Western music. Please leave me alone. Alright, we're gonna see what else there is to do here. Perhaps get some food and yeah, we'll go from there. Wow, what a city, what a city. Yeah, he's like, I'm done. I've had enough. Fuck you all. I'm tired. So I found this really cool area on the top of the hill. That's actually what the church is called. By the Dutch anyway. Check it out, look. You see all of Malacca, look. Oh, a little pirate ship over there. What's going on? And yeah, we're at St. Paul's Church. Let's get out of the way of the sun a second and we can see a little bit of information here. So, wow, look at this. So this was built by the Portuguese. We've seen a lot of Dutch stuff. This is a Portuguese church. And when the Dutch came, they just called it, well, the church on top of the hill. These tourist vendors are killing my ears today. We had Craig David earlier. Ah, look at that. Wonder what's in there. Yeah, so when the Dutch arrived, I think it was the Dutch arrived, they saw the front of the church sealed off completely and tombstones here just on the floor. And now, well, it looks a lot better now. Look at this, wow. Yeah, so Portuguese, what, it's got to be almost 500 years old then. Wow. Oh, look at that, 1655. Wow. Yeah, so they've really taken care of this. Look, they've redone all of these tablets here. Certainly because in the UK we have old churches, right? And these last about 100 years before it's quite hard to read the text anymore. And certainly this is quite new as well. So as an English person, we're very familiar with how long tombstones last in the elements. I never thought I'd say all of that. Oh, look at that. Look. 1915. I wonder why they moved it then. Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, a little bit of restoration there, look. But it's pretty good restoration, you know, they're keeping to the original theme. Look at these. Wow. Portuguese tombstones. Look at that pirate ship. I bet this dude was important, wasn't he? I think anyone coming here probably has quite a significant... wow, look at this. Quite a significant personality or job or something. I mean, for a start, you're sailing to distant lands, and unless you're a chef or a cook or a ship's cleaner, then you're probably going to be quite important. Look how cool that looks. Wow, what's it say about it? Look, you can see there, you can pause the video. It looks like there's a little tomb in here. I don't know if we can see anything. It's just a little hole in the floor. Oh, there we go. We can get a better look there. Look. Yeah, look at that. Looks like it goes underneath. You can even get in. Go on a little tour of your own. Look at this. Wow. Wow, that looks original there. Look at that. I always find it amazing. You go in somewhere and you're like, oh, is it original? Then you see this and you're like, oh yeah, well, that is the one that's 500 years old, you know. That's crazy, isn't it? Wow. Oh, there we go. Look, when old meets new. It's very colourful, isn't it, Malacca? Have you noticed? A lot of nice colours, even in nature. Wow, so that was St. Paul's. Pretty cool, huh? I never thought I'd hear Billy Joel while trying to look at old churches from the Portuguese era. But here we are today in Malacca, where old meets new. Alright, well, let's find something else. Wow, look at that. It's pretty cool, right? I imagine that's what it would look like way back when. Look at that. Absolutely amazing, isn't it?